and you guys figured
Did you
out.
want us to wait?
Good morning. I'm so excited to welcome our 5 in-person 2020 graduates and their families back for an on-campus pinning. For those of you I haven't met, I'm Dr. Vicki Foles. I'm the director of the School of Nursing, and I'm joined today by many of my faculty and staff colleagues. And as I said, I'm thrilled to have our colleagues from IT here to live stream our 2020 pinning. I'm going to begin with remarks that were offered by our 2020 graduates. We asked them to complete a survey that gives us some insight into their experience while they were at Illinois Wesleyan University. And the first question we ask is, who from your class will be the first nursing professor and why? Anna Otis emerged. She's very smart and really good at explaining things to others. She's also passionate about nursing, patient, kind, and wise. And because of the significant faculty shortage, we're delighted that Anna will then be joined by Sydney Shanks. This student writes, I see her going on to get her doctoral degree as soon as possible. Sydney spent endless hours tutoring and teaching a handful of us in a way that we really were able to grasp. This student wrote, thanks, Sid, for helping me pass nursing. And we had a tie for third place. It's good because we need nurse faculty. Leah Sternberg, she's very good at teaching and helping others. Sydney Mistravik, because she always explains things so well and is consistently prepared for class. Magdalena Wyszynski will be the first nursing professor because she's very detailed-oriented and a good labbie. I can definitely see her as a professor. Emily Lascano, because she knows the textbooks inside and out. And Liana Green, APA master at the Writing Center. So we're excited about having some nursing professors with us. And please understand that these responses are de-identified. So I get the data and am delighted to now talk about the next director of the School of Nursing. Looks like Emily, you're going to be both a professor and the director. Emily's organized and understands how to work with others. She's welcoming and assertive. And a second student said, I can totally see her being the next Dr. Foles. If not Emily, Sydney Shanks is maybe up for the task. Her classmates say she's never leaving Central Illinois, and she's a true townie. And another student talked about Sydney's leadership both on the court with basketball and within the School of Nursing. And then we have a two-way tie. If neither Emily nor Sydney work out, we have Jack Dilger and Lauren Miller. Jack, because he seems very determined and completes whatever he sets his mind to. And Lauren Miller, because she's good at getting what she wants. We spent a lot of time during senior year talking about politics and policies. So who from your class will be the first nurse lobbyist and why? Melissa Spakapen. She's an advocate for women's health and always has been very passionate about equality. She's educated in all realms of nursing and would fight for what is right. Melissa is also never afraid to speak her mind for those who can't. A tie for second place, Leah Sternberg, who often was paired with Melissa. I think they were going to work in tandem. This student wrote, both ladies have advocated for different groups of people, causes throughout their entire time in the School of Nursing. I think they'd both be a good lobbyist. And Leah was also cited as a nursing crime fighter. Magda, because she's amazing and very detailed-oriented. In third place, Alexis Cox could be the first nurse lobbyist because she's already shown up doing civil and political work and has the skills and authority to demand change. Tamara, because she's always used her voice to advocate for change. And Anna Otis might also be a nurse lobbyist. Next, we asked the class to describe who would be the first chief nurse officer at a major medical center. Benigno Hauser, because he loves being in charge and he'd be good at it. Tied for second place, Jack Dilger and Alyssa Lingenfelter. Jack, he has a business mind and would work very well as a CNO. Alyssa, because she's a leader through and through. Both were cited as it's what they want to do. In third place, we had quite a few students mentioned for their potential roles as CNOs. Sydney Shanks, a natural leader. Lauren Miller, relatable, hardworking. Emily, you're going to be busy. Emily Lascano, because she has big goals and works to achieve them. Nick Figgis, because he has that interest. Maddie Smith, Sydney McStravick, Haley Smith, and Courtney Barrett. Haley and Courtney were given accolades because they're already charge nurses. And David, he seems like he'd be a good chief nurse officer, but maybe he wouldn't accept because he's too quiet. The students, the now graduates, who from your class will be the first to graduate from a graduate program and why? A tie, Emily. She knows what she wants and she's so efficient with her time. She has big life plans to attend to. And Benigno, because he's already started graduate school and has always been passionate about higher education. In second place, there was a four-way tie. Rachel Gatcliffe, she's passionate about being an advanced practice nurse and very organized with her studies. She works hard at everything she does. Sydney Shanks, because she's diligent and smart. Melanie Pelzinski will be the first to go to grad school because she's hardworking and always gets her work done way in advance. And Melissa Spakapen will be the first to graduate because she's goal-driven and already planning to go to graduate school. And then the comment that really made me smile, again, de-identified student said, not sure, but definitely not me. We then say, who will be the first to leave nursing? Hands down, Sydney Wells, to be a professional hunter. And we know that is quite a passion of Sydney's. Jordan Ellerbrock, because she may want to stay home or be a PA. And Liana, because she may want to become a vet instead. So that's always a fun question. Sometimes I hear about the 12 babies that are coming, but not this year. Who will be the first in your class to promote nursing's global mission? When and where will they travel, and what cause will they promote? Kinsey Lindquist. She will travel all over the world trying to help as many people as she can along the way. She may work at clinics and provide health care to people who don't have access. Secondly, Elia Nava. She'll travel to less fortunate countries advocating for the most vulnerable people in society, especially for women and children. And Emily Lascano, you are a busy woman because you're going to promote environmental sustainability and contribute to your big life plans. We also had shout outs for Jack and Anna Otis, Leah and Tamara, who might also be global health nurses. What will you remember forever about your class? I'll always remember our Facebook group discussions and being able to let loose and be funny in there. I love that during stressful times we can all come together and have each other's backs. Second student wrote, work hard, play hard. A third, we stayed in the same room for 2 years and had the same seats every day. That we were a family and always were there to pick each other up when needed. And then, again, hands down, the Halloween costume. That was mentioned by quite a few students as being quite clever. For those of you whispering, there's more detail to come because it was mentioned multiple times. If you could turn back the sands of time, what year would it be and why? Second semester, sophomore year, so I could travel more and worry less. I would go back to junior year because that by far was my favorite year and yet the most stressful at the same time. I would turn back time to 2019 because I would value my experiences and my friendships more, especially after going through the COVID pandemic. I'd love to redo 2020 that didn't involve a worldwide pandemic. I would go back to the beginning of senior year so we could all have all of our fun end of the year senior activities during the first semester. And another student wrote, freshman year, who wouldn't want to start from the beginning and do it all over again? Describe best memories in the Illinois Wesleyan School of Nursing. Best memory would have been when we dressed up as sperm for Halloween and seeing Dr. Knoll's face in both shock and happiness. Sophomore, and for those of you who are unaware, Dr. Knoll teaches OB, so it seemed clever and fitting. Second student, sophomore year Unity Gala. Dr. Hopkins whipping out her dance moves with all of her students. Working in the lab, I had the weirdest conversations with students, faculty, and staff. There were late nights that were spent laughing so hard I couldn't breathe, or early mornings watching people freak out about Sims, or afternoons calming down sophomores because the world was ending, and doing the 4-point crutch gait is hard. A fourth student, being able to travel the world, continuing our nursing education at the same time while in Barcelona and other countries. My best memory would have been when our clinical group go out with our instructors at the end of the semester. And all the moments, learning new skills in lab, and the friendships and how we cared about each other. Studying abroad with the best group of people was a frequently cited experience. Studying biology with my friends freshman year. Driving to clinical. We often wish we were flies on the wall for that experience. And teaching sex ed to students in Peoria and being at Salvation Army with Dr. Kukin were also cited. How about your best memories of Illinois Wesleyan, unrelated to nursing? The people. I've never felt the amount of love and compassion that people at IWU give. I appreciate the time people committed to me and the people that let me know I was worth caring for. Finding my absolute lifelong best friends. We heard lots of comments about Greek life, about sports teams, and about roommates. Best memories at Illinois Wesleyan, Saga Brunch, Wing Wednesday in downtown Bloomington on a Saturday night. Often, my best memory of Illinois Wesleyan will be with my lifelong friends that I made along the way. What else do you want us to know? On the first day of the new academic year, choose your seat wisely, because you never change your seat again. I'll never forget when Melissa Holzer wore an Eeyore onesie to our nursing class, because the look on Dr. Birchie's face was priceless. Thank you, Mel Hauser. Another funny memory was when Rebecca Kelly's phone went off during the Nursing Foundation's exam to the ringtone, "Best Day of My Life." The Barcelona people would like to formally apologize for all the inappropriate things we did over the webcam during class. We had no idea that people in America could see everything we were doing. A fifth comment, I still get nervous when I'm in trouble, when Dr. Kukin sends me an email without any text and the subject line simply reads, "Call me." And then lastly, while we were not the easiest class to teach, nursing is all about adapting to new situations. Thank you for helping. We asked the students, and now graduates, what do you hope you're doing in 2020? In 10 years, I hope I'm doing everything to enjoy my nursing career, spending time with my family, treasuring all my memories from school, and planning the 10-year reunion with my IWU classmates. A second student plans to live in a mansion with their 5 dogs. Another working at my dream job, making a difference in patients' lives. Heard lots of things about grad school, certification, leadership positions. And one student hopes to be retired and celebrating visiting their 100th country. What do you value most about choosing nursing as a career? I value the ability we had to change someone's life for the better, whether that's physically, mentally, or emotionally, or spiritually. We will be making an impact on someone's life every day as nurses. The chance to help somebody on what might be the worst day of their life and make even the tiniest bit better. Nursing is truly a work of heart. The lives I will positively impact and the ones that positively will impact me. The flexibility of being able to follow my passions and pursue almost anything. And the ability to connect with patients and families and directly impact their lives. The hard days are hard, but the good days make everything so worth it. What would you like your School of Nursing faculty to know? All caps, thank you. Thank you for always pushing us to be our absolute best. Thank you for believing in us and being there for us in times of need. Thank you for not only teaching us to be good nurses, but to be good people. Thank you for making us feel like family and showing that we always have a home at IWU. Thank you for going out of your way to ensure my success, whether it was an extra review session, office hours, or the ability to be both flexible and understanding. Thank you for putting up with all of our shenanigans. Thank you for inviting us to your houses, letting us cry in your office, telling us we can and will, and inspiring us every day to be incredible nurses. Another student writes, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart that you have done not only for me, but for my entire class. You have gotten us through some hard and challenging times, and we didn't think we'd be able to do it. So thank you. And then lastly, the individualized time that each family member gave me throughout my years helped to shape the nurse I am today. I've learned countless lessons from each of you and am grateful for my time at Wesleyan. Similarly, we wanted to know what impact our professional staff had on our now graduates. I've made some of my best nursing memories in the skills lab. My favorite memory in the skills lab was when the Barcelona students finally wore everybody down and we had a group comp. A second student writes, "Y'all are the bomb.com." A third, "I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for all the things that you have done. You are the ones who keep the whole school afloat." What would you like your families to know? Thank you for supporting me throughout this 4-year journey. You've supported me when I was stressed beyond belief and always told me to take one day at a time or try again the next time. I'm thankful for their support as I followed my dream. A third student, would not be here without my real family or my chosen family. I want my family to know that I love them and I'm grateful for their ongoing support at all hours of the day for large and small things. Thanks for always being there after a tough day at work and reminding me that this is exactly where I'm meant to be. Thank you for always being my biggest support system and dropping everything to drive hours to IWU so many times when you knew I needed you most. We're grateful to families who have entrusted us with their then students and now graduates, and we're delighted to welcome some of you back to campus, and we want to honor everybody from the class of 2020. We have 50 graduates, and we have several with us today. And so at this time, I'm going to invite my colleagues, Dr. Kukin and Dr. Kerr, to the stage. We are going to provide pinning for those who are physically present, and I want to tell you about the history of the School of Nursing pin at Illinois Wesleyan. The pin of Illinois Wesleyan consists of 2 crosses, one superimposed upon the other, and I'm going to move so you can see my School of Nursing pin, with the whole bounded by a circle of blue. The inner cross is the cross of St. George, blood red on a field of gold. This cross for centuries stood for unselfish service. It suggests that those who bear it are eager and ready to soothe those who are suffering, regardless of rank, position, color, or creed. The St. George cross is set within a cross. This cross was originally adapted by the Knights of the Hopliteer in the 11th century. Its broad arms symbolize the wings of a bird covering her young. It intimates the supreme protecting power of those who wore the symbol. You who shield and care for the weak, the helpless, and the needy. The blue has long stood for truth and loyalty. The blue circle edging the pin combines the meaning of the 2 crosses, unselfish service and protection of the helpless, with sincerity of belief and loyalty to it in a never-ending circle. So we trust our graduates will wear their pins proudly. At this time, I want to invite to the stage to be pinned Emily Jean Case. Emily's employed by Carl, and we're so delighted to have her back on campus. And we're just so delighted to be close, proximal to people during this pandemic. And Emily gets to do this first, so every graduate behind her knows exactly what to do. Wonderful, thank you. Emily Lascano. And Emily's returned to us today from Nashville, where she's a nurse at Vanderbilt. Madeline Noel Smith Hesterberg. And Maddie is also at Carl in the ICU. And as you heard from her new name, since leaving Illinois Wesleyan, has married. Did you keep Smith? All right. Maddie's a pioneer because she's going to exit from that stage, that side of the stage. Melissa Grace Spakapen. Melissa's also at Carl in the CVICU, and I heard a story about her working with one of our seniors recently in the ICU. Do you see that critical thinking at its finest? That was beautiful. It's been developing. And David Ikechukwu Uwaje. And David returned from Munster, Indiana, where he's at Franciscan Health. There's a potential injury happening on this stage. Thanks. And at this time, we're going to honor all of our 2020 graduates. We're going to show their photos on stage, and I'll read their names, and we're hopeful that they're live streaming or they'll see this program soon. Each of the individuals who cross the stage have the scroll that describes the history of the pen, and we'll make sure that the graduates who couldn't be with us today also receive one. Courtney Barrett. We can hold our applause until the end. Kara Noel Bischoff. Rachel Alyssa Budd. Alexis Starr Cox. Olivia Mariah Kroner. Jack Anthony Dilger. Jordan Audrey Ellerbrock. Nicholas Andrew Figgis. Samantha Christine Fox. Rafael A. Garcia. Shannon Elizabeth Gatehouse. Rachel Elise Gatliff. Katrina Ann Gillespie. Liana Rose Green. Madeline Andre Marie Guiar. Melissa Nicole Holzer. Benigno Michael Hauser. Kira Marie Jackson. Abby Johnson. Jordan Mary Kean, Rebecca Marie Kelly, Caitlin Riley Lacoste, Jessica Lee, Mackenzie Marie Lindquist, Alyssa Danielle Lingenfelter, Second Lieutenant Mia Mack, Sabrina Lynn Matthews, Sydney Devon McStravick, Lauren Patrice Miller, Elia Nava, Olivia Nilsson, Emily Page Nordsick, Anna Louise Otis, Melanie Ann Pelzinski, Amy Marie Proper, Sydney Lee Shanks, Haley Smith, Tamara May Sneevely, Braylon Lenora Spears, Leah McCarthy Sternberg, Haley Elizabeth Stewart, Sarah Ann Toniolo, Sydney Marianne Wells, Emily Corrine Wisenhofer, Magdalena Anna Wyszynski. These 50 students represent the class of 2020, and on behalf of the School of Nursing, faculty, and staff, we are so proud of our 2020 graduates and are so thrilled that some could attend in person to be pinned, and those that are with us remotely, we look forward to welcoming you back to campus. So again, join me in a round of applause for the class of 2020. In pre-pandemic times, we would have gathered for a celebratory meal. I hope you're able to do that with your individual family units. And again, we thank you for returning home to the School of Nursing at Illinois Wesleyan. Thank you.